Hello, Yankee Nation, and a very warm welcome back to New York Yankees News TV, your dedicated space for the most accurate analysis and behind-the-scenes information on the New York Yankees. Before we dive into the hot news, we have for you today a quick reminder. If you value in-depth content, serious reporting, and want to stay one step ahead when it comes to our glorious Bronx Bombers, then this is your place. I'd like to extend a special invitation for you to subscribe to our channel, New York Yankees News TV, right now and hit that notification bell. By doing so, you won't miss any of our exclusive reports, tactical analyses, and the latest updates on negotiations and strategic decisions shaping the future of the Yankees. It's the best way to ensure reliable information reaches you directly, without noise or unfounded speculation. I'm counting on your subscription to further strengthen this community of well-informed fans. And speaking of behind-the-scenes information and strategic decisions, today our focus turns to an important piece in the Yankees pitching puzzle. We've received crucial updates regarding the situation with the starting rotation and the team's planning concerning a name that generates considerable anticipation. The focal point of this discussion revolves around veteran pitcher Marcus Strowman. Last Saturday, before the second game of the important series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, an always formidable opponent and a barometer for the team's ambitions, Strowman participated in a simulated pitching session, what we call in baseball jargon a sim game. He threw 33 pitches facing live batters, a crucial test to assess his physical and technical condition after a period of inactivity or recovery. Manager Aaron Boone, in a statement after the activity, classified Strowman's performance as very sharp. Those words, coming from the team's skipper, naturally sparked some optimism and speculation about Strowman's imminent return to the main rotation. However, and this is where the cooler, behind-the-scenes based analysis that we always strive to bring comes in, the situation is not as simple as it seems. The Yankees pitching coach, Matt Blake, a key figure in the strategic decisions of the pitching staff and someone whose opinion carries considerable weight in internal deliberations, offered a more cautious perspective. Speaking to MLB.com, Blake, while acknowledging Strowman's progress and the good impression he made in the simulated session, reflected on the current scenario. He was clear in stating, "We've got 5 starters right now, so we're kind of getting into roster decisions." This statement is fundamental. It indicates that although Strowman is proving himself fit, the team already has an established quintet that has been meeting expectations. Blake added, "You just want to get as much information as you can to get to that point and make sure he's good to go. Well, then we'll have a better idea of where it all fits." This remark underscores the Yankees' philosophy of not rushing returns and making decisions based on a complete picture, which involves not only the player's health, but also the dynamics and fit on the active roster. It's worth remembering that Marcus Strowman's name circulated with some intensity in trade rumors last offseason. Several teams reportedly inquired about his situation, but ultimately no deal materialized, and he remained in the Bronx. This season, his appearances on the field have been limited, and the numbers for a pitcher of his caliber and track record have not been favorable. He currently has an ERA, earned run average, of 11.57. That's a statistic that in itself justifies the coaching staff's caution, especially when considering the performance of the current rotation. The Yankees, it's important to emphasize, continue to perform solidly and remain one of the top forces in the American League. The team has been reaping significant rewards from its starting rotation in recent weeks, with pitchers consistently delivering quality starts. Names like Nestor Cortez, Carlos Rodon in good form, and the pleasant surprise of Luis Gil have been important pillars. This collective success creates a scenario where the urgency for drastic changes is significantly reduced. The philosophy seems to be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or at least don't fix it without a pressing need or a clear opportunity for substantial improvement without destabilizing what's already working. Therefore, the analysis we make, based on available information and behind-the-scenes conversations, is that Marcus Strowman's return to the mound as a regular starter does not seem to be an immediate priority for the organization. He could indeed figure as a depth option, valuable insurance against injuries or performance dips from other rotation components, or even be used in specific bullpen roles if his adaptation to such a role is considered viable and beneficial. The Yankees bullpen, by the way, is described as pretty crowded at the moment, which adds another layer of complexity to roster decisions. Any addition to the main rotation would likely mean moving another player, either to the minor leagues or designating them for assignment. Decisions that General Manager Brian Cashman and his team certainly weigh with extreme care, considering the impact on the 26-man roster as well as the payroll and long-term plans. The Yankees' strategy appears to be to maintain stability and confidence in the group that has been delivering results, while closely monitoring Strowman's progress and other internal options. Pitching depth is a luxury that many teams don't have, and the Yankees seem aware of this, treating the issue with due seriousness and without precipitation. The trade market, which heats up closer to the July trade deadline, will also be a factor, but the current stance suggests a reliance on internal resources before seeking external solutions for the rotation. The season is long, and having a player with Strowman's experience ready or nearly ready is undoubtedly an asset. The question is the timing and the actual need for his immediate insertion into a starting role. For now, the signs point to patience and observation. Summarizing the main points of our analysis today. First, Marcus Strowman had a simulated pitching session deemed very sharp by manager Aaron Boone, indicating progress in his preparation. Second, despite this, pitching coach Matt Blake signaled that the Yankees have 5 established starters and that the decision on Strowman's return to the rotation is not imminent and is being carefully evaluated. Third, Strowman's recent track record this season, with a high ERA and the success of the Yankees' current rotation, lessen the pressure for immediate changes. And fourth, the team seems to prioritize roster stability and depth, without rushing Strowman's reintegration as a starter. As the summer phase of Major League Baseball unfolds, the New York Yankees once again find themselves at the center of roster enhancement discussions, with a focus on consolidating their position among the American League's top contenders. One emerging name in internal evaluations and analyst circles is that of young Miami Marlins infielder Connor Norby. According to sources and as noted by Jacob Mounts of Yardbarker, the Yankees are closely monitoring the player's development, especially following his return from the injured list. Norby, a second-round pick in the 2021 MLB draft out of East Carolina University, arrived in the league with considerable expectations. Ranked among the top 100 prospects by Baseball Prospectus, number 82 on Baseball America, number 93 ahead of the 2023 season, his path was blocked by a crowded infield depth chart in Baltimore. This limited his major league opportunities and ultimately led to his trade to Miami, where he's received more consistent playing time. Since his activation on April 17th after an oblique strain, Norby has posted a .269 batting average, a 3-10 on base percentage, and a .418 slugging percentage, with 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases across 142 plate appearances. His speed and positional versatility increase his potential value to a Yankees club that continues to struggle at both second and third base, particularly with DJ LeMahieu's offensive output stalling, OPS .505. Defensively, Norby remains a work in progress. In 34 games and 281 innings at third base, he has registered -2 defensive runs saved and 0 outs above average. These figures suggest limited defensive impact, but also leave room for coaching and development with Jazz. Chisholm Jr., another former Marlin, potentially locking down third base for the Yankees, revisiting Miami for a complimentary infielder, follows a certain logic. The Marlins, firmly in last place in the NL East, are expected to be sellers at the trade deadline. Their current organizational strategy emphasizes young, controllable talent and payroll flexibility. Though Norby remains under team control through 2030, Miami may be open to moving him if internal evaluations deem his bat discipline. Issues: low walk rate, high strikeout rate as obstacles to long-term development. For the Yankees, pursuing Norby fits a familiar organizational template. Acquiring high upside players whose peak potential has not yet been realized, but who possess raw tools that can be honed within their system. The Yankees coaching staff has demonstrated success in developing such profiles, as seen with Anthony Volpe and more recently with Oswaldo Cabrera. It's worth noting that Norby's short stint with the Orioles in 2024 resulted in a modest .592 OPS over 32 plate appearances. With the Marlins, he improved to .247, .315, 445 with 7 home runs over 162 plate appearances, signs of an upward trajectory, albeit gradual. These statistics, coupled with the Yankees' clear roster needs and current market context, make a potential deal both plausible and strategically sound. To fully understand the Yankees' potential pursuit of Connor Norby, it's important to analyze beyond his basic stat line. The decision to target a player like Norby fits into a broader strategic framework shaped by long-term roster planning, internal prospect evaluations, and the contractual realities surrounding key veterans. Under Brian Cashman's leadership, the Yankees have favored a hybrid strategy, combining a stable core of high-paid veterans with an infusion of controllable, ascending talent. From a contract perspective, Norby represents a highly attractive asset, with team control through 2030 and no arbitration eligibility for the next couple of years. He fits into the Yankees model of acquiring low-risk, high-upside contributors. This also allows financial flexibility under the luxury tax threshold, a consideration the front office weighs heavily when approaching mid-season trades. There's also a succession angle to consider. DJ LeMahieu, despite his leadership and versatility, has been underwhelming offensively. His OPS under .510 across over 100 plate appearances in the early season raises real concerns about long-term productivity. As such, the Yankees are quietly assessing medium-term solutions who could be phased into larger roles without pressuring the current roster structure. Norby is viewed as one of those options, a potential platoon candidate now with starter upside by 2026. Sources familiar with internal discussions indicate that exploratory talks have occurred between Yankees and Marlins front office personnel. While no formal offer has been made, both sides see logical synergy. Miami is seeking to open playing time for prospects and reduce payroll. New York is aiming to bolster its infield depth with younger, underdeveloped talent that can contribute soon. Norby fits both agendas. It's also worth noting that Norby may be part of a broader trade package. Should Miami hesitate to part with him alone, the Yankees could look to structure a deal that includes middle relievers or defensive outfielders, possibly sending blocked minor league talent in return. Names like Everson Pereira or Clayton Beeter could emerge in those conversations, both of whom carry organizational value but limited immediate paths to the Bronx. From the Marlins' perspective, Norby could be expendable if internal confidence in players like Jacob Amaya or Nasim Nunez is rising. Miami's front office is now operating under a developmental first approach, and while Norby has shown flashes of offensive potential, his inconsistency in plate discipline, particularly against left-handed pitching, has raised flags. Trading him while he retains some prospect shine might be a prudent path. On the Yankees side, the analysts are aware of Norby's challenges. His low walk rate and high strikeout rate are red flags. However, there is a belief that targeted adjustments and coaching in a competitive clubhouse environment could accelerate his improvement. With strong development infrastructure already in place, the Yankees see Norby as a teachable project. Importantly, this is not viewed as a rental. The Yankees have become increasingly resistant to short-term acquisitions that cost premium farm assets. Norby's years of control and projected ceiling make him the type of player the franchise has shown willingness to develop. This approach reflects a pivot toward sustainability, aiming not just to solve present-day weaknesses, but to reinforce the future of the infield configuration. To conclude, Connor Norby represents an intriguing option within the Yankees' mid-season strategy. A young player with untapped potential, long-term contractual control, and the experience of competing at the major league level. The key question is whether the Marlins are ready to move on from him, and at what cost. So now I ask you, Yankees fans, is Norby the kind of player who could realistically make a difference in the infield this season? If you enjoyed this analysis and want more exclusive coverage and credible updates on the New York Yankees, Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.